It has been instructed to me that it is now time to begin sharing knowledge with you that is intended to bring benefit and understanding to both yourself and the collective. As the information I'm going to share is vast and sometimes difficult to explain, I'm not going to be doing so in any particular fashion. I may go back and forth, so if I miss something or do not address something adequately, be sure to ask and I will respond when possible. To some this may be basic knowledge, but as all individuals are at their own stage of development, I'm going to start at the very beginning and work my way up to the fun stuff. The purpose of me sharing this information is not to provide you with more information to analyze, but to do the opposite and clear out your current conceptions, which will then allow yourself to make direct contact with your higher self. This will aid both you, the people around you, and the earth, so then you can assist the collective by fulfilling your own personal life mission. I'm going to explain certain concepts that address how your actions, your thoughts, ambitions affect the global consciousness and the vibratory field of yourself and the earth. At the end of each video, I will provide you with a task that if you choose to participate in, will help you develop your energy body, and in turn, will create the divine spark within to emerge. To begin, I'm going to address two components that work hand in hand. This is both your thoughts and the energy body. Your physical body contains an energy body. These are known as chakras. Some regard it as the subtle body. Many people are aware of these centers, but the current paradigm is designed to suppress such knowledge from being discovered. Hence we have what you call sheep. These energy centers govern every part of your being, so it is only natural that you would want these centers to be in perfect working order. Most humans today have very little life force flowing through these energy centers. This creates a strong delusion of self and ultimately governs yourself by the ego, the part of self which is not the true self. Some have slightly awakened chakras and are aware of their presence, but even they, to the most extent, are unaware of the potential available. When one has completely cleared all their energy centers and has a clear flow of energy running through them, one will be in good health, perfect synchronicity, and most of all, be able to access the divine self, the godly presence within. This slow transition, which ultimately ends in what is regarded as ego death, the removal of the self, which is a delusion, created by immersing oneself in the material plane. It is a combination of experiences that governs the beliefs of who they perceive themselves to be. Upon accomplishing this task, one has then reached the point which is called ascension. There are a few steps that need to be addressed before beginning this process. I'm going to outline them now. If you draw your attention to the diagram, there is what is called 3 gates. These are 3 points or blockages that must be worked on and opened before you can begin elevating the flow of life force through your energetic body. These are the third eye, the heart chakra, and the base chakra. Each chakra has its own unique attributes that will influence your being. These include both perceptions and emotional ties. You may want to note, it is important to keep your back straight when working on the chakras, as the flow of energy flowing through the body will be obstructed. To begin, I recommend starting with the third eye. This is because, as most people are unaware where their attention is being directed, they naturally place it in their headspace, which is already the location of the third eye. For this reason, some may have already begun to open it. Following the third eye, I would then recommend focusing on the heart, followed by the base chakra. Once these have been adequately opened, we can then begin to rise the life force also known as kundalini, through the body until unification is obtained. I'll explain this further at a later point. We are now going to talk about how information is stored in your etheric body. These create blockages and encourage the delusion of ego if they are low in vibration. Your auric field emanates like so. In this field is stored everything about your being and experience. Part of this energy is all your negative vibrations. These are the dark spots pictured. These points create blockages in the way your field emanates light, which in turn creates a slower vibration. Through working on these chakra points and releasing these emotions and beliefs, one creates a clear flow for the life force energy, which then increases your vibratory rate of your etheric field. The quicker it flows, the more light you become, the more your DNA changes, and the less attached you become to the 3D plane. At some point, full utilization of the energy body occurs, and the laws of the material plane no longer apply. Now that you have a rough idea of how the etheric body works, I'd like to point out this perspective. As you know, your body has a frequency that emanates depending on the vibrational level of your field. This is pictured as a sine wave. The majority of people on Earth have very little development in their etheric bodies, hence putting out a slow, heavy vibration. As everything is energetic in nature, all things carry a frequency of their own. As we are a part of the Earth, we humans should be vibrating in sync with the frequency of the Earth. At this current state, we are far out of phase. The more one works on raising their vibration, the more in tune one becomes with the frequency of the Earth. At moments when you hear your ears ringing, this is a small interval where you are becoming aligned with the frequency of the Earth. You want to focus on this frequency and completely align yourself with it, which will create an affiliation with the Earth and a connection with nature, or what I call the grid. Now that you understand this concept, can you imagine the disharmony produced by two out-of-phase vibrations coming into contact? I'm sure you know how awful the sound of random notes thrashed on a keyboard sound. Now times this by the population of Earth. This is essentially how the collective of humanity is reacting. How do you think 7 billion units of disharmony are going to react in a grand orchestra? It's not going to be a musical masterpiece, to say the least. The only result is one pissed off Earth, and in turn creates the natural disasters you see today, all due to humanity's own doing. Can you imagine how beautiful the orchestra would sound if all 7 billion humans vibrated in harmony? I think that would take music to a whole new level. To close today, I would like to address another point. For every thought you have, you are sending out a vibration. This frequency is then stored and emanated in your vibratory field. People and the Earth are in contact with this vibration, hence, everyone is affected. Do you carry a high vibration or a low one? How are you contributing to the disharmony of Earth? I want you to now imagine this common scenario that each of you experience on a daily basis. This is the electric interaction between two energetic fields coming into contact. One of negativity, a low vibration, and one of compassion, a high vibration. Naturally, the unaware person emanating the negative vibrations is going to do all they can to make you drop to their level. This is a major problem humanity needs to overcome, and is widely versed on a daily basis. A simple principle can make the most profound impact in this respect. If the being of the higher vibration shows nothing but complete compassion and love for the negative entity, this person remains unaffected by the negative vibrations. This stops yourself spreading disharmony and on a grand scale helps the collective. It also helps the negative entity. After the event has settled and they no longer are infuriated by their emotions, they will then wonder why you continually showed them compassion and love despite the negativity sent their way. This response will then make the low vibrational field question their motives and perhaps approach the next encounter in a more suitable way. This concept is a hard one to approach because naturally throughout our lives we have been brought up to express emotions as they come, with very little thought, little compassion, and full of ego. At the very beginning of expressing this motive, you may feel somewhat hurt or tread on for what you perceive to be as not standing up for yourself. But you'll soon find that the most satisfactory accomplishment obtained from this circumstance is the fact that you are untouchable by the transpired event. If it makes you feel any better, this event will infuriate the mind of the lower vibration, which will empower both you and eventually the negative entity after a reflective time has occurred. So I would kindly ask that you try to begin to exercise this concept and help contribute to the out of phase vibration humanity currently holds. This may be difficult for some, unless a certain degree of chakra work has already occurred. I outlined this a little in the previous video, and I will go into further depth at a later time. If you are interested in this process, I ask that you do the following and apply it to your daily schedule. This composes of a meditation of 15 to 20 minutes both before and after your day's work. The timing is crucial as the workday is often the most stressful part for most entities. By applying these meditations, you're calming yourself to begin the day and clearing out the negative you experienced at the end. This alone, with some persistence, will provide enough clarity and insight to successfully apply the above concepts.